Hi, kids. Okay, Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. 1964. This is the next film in Stanley Kubrick's filmography. Came out of Kubrick's desire to do something dealing with a nuclear nightmare situation. He wasn't quite sure how or what, so he amassed a library of 70 or 80 books and went through them all, looking at all different points of view, different scenarios, just anything to do with nuclear destruction. Stanley's reading it because he's a fun guy. He is a fun guy. But anyways, so because of this, it's recommended to him that he read a novel called Red Alert. That is by Peter George, published in 1958. So he reads that. Deals with a nuclear nightmare situation. Goodbyes the rights. And as Kubrick does, he collaborates with Peter George on the screenplay. That's what he does. Gets the rights from the book, talks to the author, and lets them have a crack at writing the screenplay. Now, there's a whole other thing about there was a similar book and similar movie being developed that I'm not going to get into here because I talk about it quite extensively in my other video for Doctor Strangelove, number 28 and greatest films of all time, if you want to go watch that. But anyways, in writing the screenplay with George, Kubrick begins to realize that there's problems with sort of the motivations, the reasons, the events happening. He says that when he's trying to put meat on the bones of it, he realizes that anything he could come up with to explain things would be absurd. So he decides to steer into the absurdity, make it a farce, make it a satire. That's what he does. At which point, Peter George exits and he brings in Terry Southern, who is known for his dark and absurdist humor. So he collaborates with them. The two of them go over the screenplay. They're writing it, as is the case even during production of the film on the way to the studio. And then also to bring in some comedy, he hires Peter Sellers, who he just worked with on Lolita, was pleased, very impressed with Peter Sellers. So originally he wants Peter Sellers to play 4 parts. Peter, not so sure about one of them, declines. So he's only 3 parts for Peter Sellers in this. The other part was the Slim Pickens part, Major Kong. He wanted Sellers to play, but instead we get Slim Pickens, it's Major Kong. So that's good. He brings back people that he's worked with in the past, like Sterling Hayden. And he gives these characters these great names like Jack Ripper. And then fills the film with sort of sexual references, jokes. The film starts with sort of this close up of a plane, and there's the very sexual imagery. Uh, Maybe I'm reading into it too much, but I think maybe what Kubrick is driving at is sort of these macho male army guys overcompensating, maybe. I don't know. That's a reading of it. He also brings in Gilbert Taylor, who shot the title sequence for Lolita. He was impressed with that. So Gilbert Taylor gets hired as the cinematographer on this. The film had a $1.8 million budget, made about $9.2 million at the box office, which is pretty much the exact same numbers as Lolita. And just like Lolita, again, another Kubrick film is nominated Academy Award for the screenplay. So he works extensively all the time on the screenplays, and they always get recognized. This film, unlike Lolita, though, now is regarded as one of the greatest films of all time by very, very many. So much so that when I did my list of greatest films of all time, it came in as number 28. So Kubrick is in his prime right now. He's got a studio where he likes. He's got a great family life. He knows exactly what he wants. He's producing his own stuff, small budgets, got a collection of people to work with. And his next film, just as good, not better. Anyways, thank you for watching this. Like, subscribe. Bye.